Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Mustang Basketball with Brad Bigler. I'm your host, Kelly Loft, Athletic Communications Director at Southwest Minnesota State University, and glad you could be with us again this week as we talk Mustang basketball with the head coach. Mustangs a great road weekend this past weekend, winning on Friday at Concordia St. Paul, and then completing the weekend sweep against nationally ranked number 24 St. Cloud State. Mustangs win convincingly in both ball games and move into fourth place in the conference standings. We'll take a look at those games, look at the highlights, and preview this weekend's games versus Bemidji State and Minnesota Duluth. So a busy, action-packed show coming up again this week on Mustang Basketball with Brad Bigler. And joining us, as always, is the head coach, Brad Bigler. And real simple week, a couple of wins. That's it.
Pretty much, that sums it up, huh?
That pretty much sums it up. Of course, Mustangs, I mentioned a couple of great wins on Friday and Saturday, and then Saturday night. Puts it in perspective. You could say this when we lose. You got to say it even after a win. That night, your wife Heather has a third child. You guys, Drake Phillip was born Saturday night. What a whirlwind day on Saturday. Kind of talk about that before we get into basketball.
And I'll try to make it quick. But going into the weekend, we were debating whether or not I should drive separate from the bus. Friday afternoon, she had her doctor's appointment. Nothing had changed from the week before. She wasn't due for another 10 days or so, and so I rode the bus. But after the game on Saturday night, walked out of the locker room, and the father-in-law was standing right outside the locker room and said, "Hey, it's time to go," and grabbed all our stuff. Got back to Marshall just in time. I think we arrived around 10 o'clock and had the baby at 10:18.
Wow,
so
perfect.
It was pretty quick. And probably to add on to the story is the doctor who delivered it, she was actually at the St. Cloud basketball game as well. So she was racing back, and we walked in, and then she walked in, and we both made it just in time.
Yeah, perfect timing. And we'll stop partway home.
Always a little drama.
Always a little drama. Yeah. Stopped in one of the smaller towns for maybe going a little too fast, but the positive thing is common sense prevailed, and there's still decency out there, and the officer let you guys off, said, hey, drive safe and get back to Marshall, and child number 3 for the Biglers, so congratulations. And just a busy day, and it capped off a great weekend, Coach. You go on the road, win at Concordia St. Paul. Mustangs win by a score of 88-77, and again, you beat St. Cloud State the following night, 85-69, and overall, just great play by your squad, and really shooting the ball at a high percentage. And you know, obviously the ball is going in the hoop, but the main reason is that because the guys are taking some good quality shots and not forcing things.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm just repeating myself every time I'm talking in these situations with the public or in the media, but it's true. I think the guys are playing to their strengths. Right now they're really sharing the basketball, and when you do those types of things, you're going to shoot a high percentage, and guys are knocking down those shots when they're there. Yeah,
of course. On Friday night, Mustangs shoot 51%, shoot 57 in the second half to win 88-77 and hold off a very explosive Concordia team who can really score. And the Mustangs win 88-77. And then the following night, again on the road, 55% and then 68 in the second half. And we joked about it last week, Coach, in the show about against Wayne in the second half and against Augustana, you shoot 17-25 from the field for 68%. Obviously, that must be your game plan, because that's exactly the percentage and the shots made and missed for the second half against St. Cloud State. I think you'll take 68% most of the time.
Yeah, I guess the key is we can only take 25 shots, though. So just got to keep it to that, and things will be good. So, but no, I think again it goes back to us being able to get some action at the rim. We had a little time there where we're getting quite a few layups, and just to continue to do that, and you know, to finish over people and finish with contact.
Well, we've seen it all season long. Mustangs getting different big games from a variety of players. And you look on Friday night, what a night for Trent Carlson. Senior had 6 3-pointers, setting a career high for 3-pointers made in a game, and he had 18 points, and really needed him to come through. He opened up the outside. He was really feeling it, and some of the shots he missed were right down there as well. But a big night for Trent. He needed that, and then we'll lead into Saturday night and have another guy step up. But Trent's game on Friday was really important for you guys to open up that lead.
Yeah, and you couldn't explain any better. To open up that lead, that's what he did. He knocked down about 3 or 4 threes there in a row, and it went from a pretty competitive game to a game where we kind of had all the momentum, and he played a big factor in that.
Yeah, SMSU made 8 3-pointers in that game against Concordia St. Paul. Carlson with 6, Jordan Miller with 2, and the Mustangs get the victory. 18 points for Trent in that game, and a great balance. 6 players in double figures for the Mustangs, 12 for Giddings and Smith, 12 for Tremel Barnes, and a perfect 12 of 12 from the free throw line, 10 for Miller, and Susan Guth also had 10 for the Mustangs. And that's the second time this season the Mustangs had 6 players score in double figures. The first time was against Concordia St. Paul as well, and I'm sure the Golden Bears are happy not to see the Mustangs here in this regular season anymore, because you really put up a lot of points in the 2 games.
Yeah, and that's whether it's matchups this year, we were able to match up a little bit better with them athletically. We moved around some personnel, and Lavion and Will being able to defend one of the twins really helped out in both games. So.
Yeah, big night again. Mustangs win the ball game despite Concordia hit 10 3-pointers as well, and that's a second straight game. Augustana also hit double figures in 3-pointers, but the Mustangs able to win both games, which shows you that making some baskets on your end of the floor when you're on offense obviously could counteract that, and the Mustangs did a great job. We go to Saturday now against St. Cloud State, a team that's second in the conference, number 24 in the nation, had just 1 home loss, and the Huskies started out red hot from the field, took an early 8-point lead on a couple of occasions, but the Mustangs fought through it and won 85-69. And despite that, Bernard Birch goes down with an injury early in the first half, played just 7 minutes total, but Dalston Jones comes in, and a guy that played some big minutes a couple of years ago, did not play basketball last year, but he gave you a breather for Tremel Barnes and whomever else had to run the point. Again, another guy just to step in here for the Mustangs with Birch on the sideline.
Yeah, and I thought it was a great group effort, whether it was obviously Tremel is going to take a lot more responsibility, but Dalston Jones came in for some minutes, and we'll see a highlight where he does make a play, he gets a steal, and that was a big steal, a big momentum type play. And then I think, don't forget, Jordan Miller had the ball in his hands a lot on that night, and he played at a pretty high level.
Yeah, Mustangs, 19 points, career high for William Giddings. He also had 9 rebounds in the game for the Mustangs. Jordan Miller had 19 points and 17 for Nick Smith. Just a balanced attack off the bench. Lavion West with 9, Susan Guth with 6, Barnes with 6. Matt Zager with 6 points for the Mustangs as well, and it was just a lot of different guys stepping up and making plays, and the defensive end as well. St. Cloud did shoot 44%, but to go on the road and really take a team out of their game was great to see, especially against a team that has been on a roll as of late.
Yeah, and St. Cloud, we have a lot of respect for St. Cloud as well as Concordia. They just have the ability to put up points, and if you're going to play them in a half-court game, they're going to beat you more times than not. I think they're very efficient with their offensive sets. The last 6 games, a couple of their guys, their numbers were phenomenal, starting with Jensen and Bergstrasser. But I thought at the end of the day we defended them fairly well. We made them work for everything, and those guys play a lot of minutes. And I think over the course of the weekend, we looked a little fresher in that second half than they did.
And of course, a good start, as I mentioned, by St. Cloud in the first 12 minutes or so, shooting at a high percentage. And I suppose that's one thing you just tell the guys, more than likely those numbers are going to come down. They're going to cool off. You just got to maintain it and try to score with them for a while at least, because more than likely they're going to cool off.
And part of it was they did a great job of breaking our press, and not only did they break the press, but they were aggressive versus it, and they were scoring. And so we had to make some adjustments, and they took us out of our game plan early in the game, and to give them credit. And we were fortunate to adjust. We were fortunate to make some shots on our own and then kind of get that momentum back. And I think we finished the half like on a 9-2 run or something like that. But we finished the half strong, which at halftime, I think as a coaching staff, we felt that we didn't play very well that first half, but we looked up and we have a 7-point lead. So it was tough to be too negative about that, but just to use that 7-point lead and try to expand on it in the second half.
Yeah, I tell you what, great shooting all night for the Mustangs. They shoot a season-high 61% in the game. Jordan Miller, 7 of 10 from the field. Nick Smith, 8 of 10. William Giddings, 7 of 15. And Tramel Barnes, 3 of 4. And again, that's a lot of very good action to the rim, and we'll see some of those highlights here later on in the show. And of course, a couple of the highlights from the weekend, we've got to talk about it. The head coach won't want to talk about it, but Jordan Miller at 997 points, and I think he's close enough now, Coach. So I don't think it's going to bother him. He had a pretty good weekend, which is great to see, and hopefully, knock on wood, he can pick that up in this weekend and get that 1,000-point. But kind of nice to maybe to do that at home, and of course, he still had chances against St. Cloud, but everybody else stepped up. But pretty special to get that 1,000-point, and of course, I never had that ability. I didn't play basketball. Maybe, I'm not sure if you did in high school or
I probably didn't have 1,000 combined high school and college. So.
But a pretty good honor for a very special player.
And Jordan's he's been a blessing. We're very fortunate to have him part of the program. He's bought in, and he's just one of those guys that we're going to give the ball to in big moments, and he's a guy that's deserved that. He's one of the hardest workers on our team, and a guy that everyone on the team wants to have the ball in his hands at the end of the game. And
the pretty amazing stat about Jordan is not only is he going to be a 1,000-point scorer, but he is also second or first in assists, nearly every game, or on the team this year with 63 assists. Pretty amazing to be able to score that much and also be able to have that many assists, which means he's distributing the basketball. And as you mentioned, he's got the ball in his hands quite a bit.
Yeah, and he's developed that as his career went on. He's been able to be a more complete player, and he's a guy that will throw at the point guard spot or to the 3 or even at the 4 spot at times. And a very versatile player, and just very fortunate to have him.
Well, again, the Mustangs with a couple of wins this weekend, 88-77 over Concordia St. Paul, and then beat St. Cloud State on Saturday by a score of 85-69. So what does that mean for the Mustangs? Well, they are now 14-9 on the season and 13-6 in conference play. 14-9 overall, 13-6 in the NSIC. We've talked about the games. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from this past weekend. First, we'll start off with the game against Concordia St. Paul at the Gangelhoff Center, and the Mustangs going right to left here in this first half in the gold uniforms, and Mustangs shoot 47% in the first half, Coach, and Nick Smith getting a couple of buckets early, Coach.
And you'll see here some good action to the rim, good ball movement. Jordan's going to find Nick slip into the hoop, great catch and finish.
Just a good example of moving away from the basketball and creating an open lane for your teammate, and Nick, the beneficiary of that one. There's a layup by Zager. Matt with 6 points on Friday night.
And Nick and Jordan have really developed a good chemistry throughout the year. Jordan finding Nick, but here you see a great example of Nick posting up and Jordan throwing it to space, and Nick goes and gets it.
Birch with the drive. Had 3 assists, 4 points in the game, did the sophomore from Egan. And Smith, tough turnaround jumper. And then Casey Susanguth off the bench, 4 of 7 from the field. He keeps saying it each week. It's just a broken record, but doing the things you really need to be a successful basketball team, and that is scoring, getting rebounds, and off the bench. And he did that this game, 10 points and 4 rebounds.
And I thought this game, Casey's just his hustle plays were the big difference in the game, especially in that second half. He was getting tips on balls. We'll see one here a little later in the clips, but those hustle plays are great momentum plays. We talk a lot about those. Who's going to, right there, for example, right there's a hustle play, going to end up getting a layup off it. And those are the types of plays that spark a team, and he does a great job of that type of stuff.
Here's Carlson starting to heat up, drills a 3, and then the Mustangs get a stop, and Carlson rewards the team defense with the 3 on the other end.
One thing about this possession right here we want to show, sometimes when we get that press, we get different matchups, and right here they're trying to take advantage of a point guard guarding the center, but end up turning the basketball, and then we come down, and Trent Carlson knocks down the 3.
Yeah, gets his feet set and drills it. Giddings, 4 of 7. None easier than that. Simple 2-hand slam. Let's go to the rim right away. Here's Nick Smith drawing a foul. A great take by Bernard Birch.
Good take. Maybe a little contact, but Nick stays with the play, and finishes and gets fouled himself.
Giddings on this next possession gets a basket as the shot clock winds down.
And this is one. This is one of the advantages we have when Giddings on the floor. He has the ability to create his own shot, especially in shot clock situations.
Mustangs here right before the half get a basket, shoot 47% in the first half, lead by 7, 39-32. Now we go to the second half, good take by Giddings, and then Smith continues his solid game. Nick, one block shot, couple of steals, couple of assists, getting 12 points. Mustangs get a stop on the defensive end, easy rebound, and come back the other way. And Zager with the layup. And this possession, Tremel Barnes able to draw a foul, gets hammered by Brett Bars. Of course, Tremel 12 of 12 from the field or from the free throw line. Here's Carlson just continuing to heat up. This is the big stretch of the game here. The Mustangs got that lead to double digits.
And Trent was able to get his feet set, was holding his follow through. Again, another great hustle play by Susan Guth. Will come down and get it to the hot hand. Trent Carlson comes off and fires it from behind the professional line there and knocks it down the three.
I think you saw just a screen by Jordan Miller to help set that for Trent Carlson. Just a good team. And there's a block by Miller, and then the Mustangs come back the other way. And again, Barnes just one free throw away from tying the school record for free throws made and percentage-wise in a game at 13 for 13, but he finished 12 of 12. SMSU as a team, very high percentage, 81%, 26 of 32 from the line.
And again, you'll see here a couple plays of Lavion West just getting to the rim off the backside. Gets a 2 here, and then you'll see him get fouled here as well. So good action by Lavion. I thought he had another efficient weekend as well.
Mustangs had 18 assists in the ball game. Miller tied a team high with 4, and he'll pick up one right here, finding a cutting Giddings for the layup. And then Tremel over to Trent Carlson. Trent at the bottom of the screen gets the handoff and drills another long-range 3.
And we'll finish off here with Bernard Birch just getting action in the room, getting a layup. That's what we see more times than not. Late in the shot clock, end of games, teams locking up.
You're right, and it was a great win. Team victory for the Mustangs, 88-77 over Concordia St. Paul, so they complete the season sweep. Do the Mustangs had a big blowout victory against the Golden Bears back in December for the Mustangs, and that was way back in their home opening weekend against St. Cloud and Concordia St. Paul. So you get the win and now go to St. Cloud State. A short trip, had to seem pretty quick on Friday night going to St. Cloud and taking on a Husky team that we mentioned was second in the conference, and a physical team, coach, and kind of a different styles than we see against Concordia St. Paul. How difficult is that to prepare for different styles of play Friday night compared to Saturday?
Well, with St. Cloud, they have they're such a system-oriented team where they're going inside to Bergstrasser, and then they have some great shooters and Putz and Theo. So they're different in with regards with just how they use their talent.
Yeah, it was a tough chore to say the least going to St. Cloud on Saturday, but the Mustangs get the win 85-69. Let's take a look at the moving pictures from that ball game at Hallenbach Hall in St. Cloud. Again, SMSU with the 85-69 win. SMSU right to left here in the first half in the white uniforms. And it's been a few years since the Mustangs have won at St. Cloud, and did an excellent job again, shooting 55% in the first half. And again, St. Cloud shot very well early on as well and had an 8-point lead. You see a couple of nice baskets by Nick Smith. He had 17 on 8 of 10. Great percentage.
And at this point, Bernard was out of the game, and it was nice to see Jordan Miller. I mean, he took it upon himself to raise his game to another level, and he made everyone else better as well.
SMSU 6 of 14 from long range. In the opening half, 5 of 10 to help build that 7-point halftime lead.
Thought we had great spacing throughout the weekend. That was another thing we've been focusing a lot on. Just to be able to have that space, to be able to make that move right there, rather than having guys cutting in that action. again, Jordan was feeling it early, and when he's feeling it, he's going to be able to knock down shots like that.
That's creating a shot right there. There was Jordan Miller, just crossover and pops the three. You see the old board for the Mustangs. And then Carlson, wide open. He hammers home a three.
And it's nice to see Trent, feeling it right now, going down this final stretch. You want your seniors to be playing at a high level, and I think both Casey and Trent are playing as good a basketball as they played all year.
Great bounce pass, Carlson to Susan Guth. And talked about another seniors, Dalston Jones helping tip a ball away, and Mustangs get away with it, come away with the ball. He wasn't credited with the steal, but he's the one that started that one, and the Mustangs in fast break get the basket, and that's what you need in these minutes for the senior.
And with Dalston Jones, our guys know how hard he works in practice, and he's a fiery little guy, especially in the practice setting. A lot of times when we have a great practice, it's because he's getting guys going.
And of course, not many guys carried off the floor after Hawaiian night, and Dalston Jones had that honor a couple of weeks ago. Big three by Giddings, his only three of the night. And then Nick Smith, as this first half winds down, gets the foul as well. And again, you see the Mustangs away from the basketball, rotating, finding the open teammates, finding those passing lanes, and a great pass by Miller, and gets a foul to Lav. Lavian draws the foul, gets the old board. That's what you're talking about right there, Coach, is effort.
And that's where I thought our effort and focus this weekend was as good as it's been on the road. And we'll look to continue that at coming home again, and we'll talk about it later, but got some big games here where we have to be able to focus. I don't know last time we played Bemidji and Duluth if we had that same focus as we're playing with right now.
Mustangs 44-37.5. We continue on. Big dunk by Giddings. You see his eyes light up when he got that pass from Nick Smith. He's one of the best ones we've had here at Southwest in a long time. The ability to get to the rim and slam it home. Here's again the Mustangs with Jones back in the game, and get a jumper by Barnes. Kind of a run here by Trammell. You need him to step up. 3 of 4, all in the second half, with some great baskets.
And right now you just see us getting a lot of simple actions to the rim, where I think at times that's where our offense has shown that it's wearing people down. A lot of the ball screen action. It takes a lot of discipline to be able to defend it, and when you have it going, it looks like Lavion West will fire up a three and make one as well. It's been a while since he's made one, but he shoots it with confidence, and in practice he's making them, so he still has the freedom to shoot them in games.
And then Jordan Miller taking a charge here in the defensive end. Great to see. That was a great call. Mustangs fortunate that ball is zipped around. Zager with the layup. Again, one of 2 baskets for Matt in the game. And again, points in the paint. Mustangs outscore the Huskies 36-20. Big margin. And you can just see, Coach, you're not forcing these shots, just being patient. And Zager with the layup off the pass from West. Great inbound by Miller. He had 5 assists as well to go along with his 19 points.
And to see Nick just finish strong. I thought Nick had a great second half. See him making a couple buckets there. He's going to knock down a 15-footer here in a little bit, but not only that, but also getting some big defensive rebounds and just being a presence in the paint.
SMSU breaks the press, gets the dunk, and then capped off by, as you mentioned, a Nick Smith jump shot at the left elbow. And the Mustangs get the victory 85-69 over the Huskies. And as you mentioned, now with that victory, move into sole possession of 4th place in the conference with 3 games to go for Southwest. Just a half-game lead over Bemidji State. And it's a logjam there, Coach, from 2, 3, 4 seed, and big win for Southwest to get there as well. And we'll talk about the weekend now. Again, Bemidji State and Minnesota Duluth coming up this weekend, and a big one, to say the least. There's a team that beat us both, Bemidji State and Minnesota Duluth, back in January. It hasn't been that long ago, but you're talking about conference implications, regional ranking implications. This is a big weekend.
Yeah, and especially on Friday. It all starts on Friday night. Bemidji and us are fighting neck and neck right there, just not only with the conference but also for the regional ranking. And we'll see. It's a big game. I thought last time we played Bemidji, I don't want to take anything away from them because I think they were the better team without a doubt when we played up there. But I do think that if you were to look at our body of work throughout the season, I would say that was maybe our worst effort and focus game of the season. And that's where I talked with our guys on Monday. Just I want to see them. They need to experience our best effort. That's the biggest thing. And if we can come out and play hard, do the things that we do, whoever the better team is a better team. But I want them to experience our best effort.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting ball game. And of course, Saturday against Minnesota Duluth, that game starts at 6 o'clock. A little earlier start on Saturday. Should let everybody know. 8 o'clock Friday, but 6 o'clock men's game on Saturday against the Bulldogs, a team you forced 29 turnovers against, but unfortunately lost by 4. You scored 90 points, but did lose the ball game. But it's crucial time now, Coach, and I think it's just a different feel around things now, around the arena, just from the fact that it's getting to be playoff time, and you want to host that playoff game. You want to make the conference tournament, which we have qualified for that, but get a home game, get to the Final Four, and then ultimately make the NCAA tournament, which is got to be a goal, and it's right there. Regional rankings come out on Wednesday, and I'm sure the Mustangs will be in the top 10 and maybe the top 8, but it's important games, and it'd be great to get a great crowd out there and support the Mustangs for this last home regular season games.
Mm-hmm. And it's it's nice. I really enjoyed coaching these guys. It's been a lot of fun. Right now we're not trying to get ahead of ourselves. I think we understand that we have to take it one game at a time. This group is staying humble, and we'll continue to enforce that because the last thing you want to do is look ahead of it right now and all of a sudden you realize, we blew an opportunity because we weren't ready to play or we thought we were better than what we really are. So just staying humble and continue to work.
And of course, this weekend the Bigler family grew by one more. Coach, again, congratulations on the birth of Drake Phillip. There's a great family photo, at least 4 good-looking people in that picture, but great to see everybody and everybody's doing well.
Yeah, and it's just nice to be able to kind of know that that's done with, and our guys are going to, the family, as far as worrying about game and how that's going to all play out with the family and with having the baby. It's just nice to kind of have that done. And
yes.
Now we'll adjust to family life with 3. The zone defense is what I've heard. Zone, not the man. You got to go zone defense, and it was in full effect last night. I'll tell you what, Nash was sick and had was not feeling very well, puked in his bed, and then Drake's up, and then Talia, it's the life of a parenthood,
yes,
right?
It is.
Parenthood, huh?
Let's hope to have a big crowd this weekend. Hopefully the Biglers can make it out and everybody say hi. And again, the Mustangs in Bemidji State on Friday night, 8 o'clock at the RA facility. Senior night on Saturday against Minnesota Duluth, 6 o'clock start against the Bulldogs. Dalston Jones, Trent Carlson, Casey Susan Guth all be honored prior to the game as their final regular season home games at the RA facility. Hope to see you all out there this weekend at the arena cheering on the Mustangs. For the head coach, Brad Bigler, I'm Kelly Loft. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Mustang Basketball with Brad Bigler here at Studio One and at smsumustangs.com. Until next week, go Mustangs!